Hello everyone. This is the first video out of a series I'm going to make about motorcycles and cars. I'm going to keep it simple and keep it short. This is a 2012 1199 Panigale. This is the base model. They also had the S, the R, the Superleggera, Tricolore, and the Ayrton Senna Special Edition, which is a beautiful bike. Mine is a base model. The S had the electronic suspension, which this one doesn't have, but I didn't want the electronic suspension. It still has adjustable Marzocchi forks in the front, Sachs shock, fully adjustable in the rear. So I wanted something that feels a little more visceral. Not that there's anything wrong with the S or what they did. I mean, that's amazing. It's technology that came down from MotoGP, along with the structure of the bike, right? The engine in this one is a stress member and part of the structure of the bike rather than sitting cradled in the trellis frame. The bike feels different than any Panigale before it. It's a lot rougher to ride. It vibrates a lot. I would say that probably looking back, it's a little unrefined compared to today's V4s, for example. But that's part of what I like about it personally. I love that it feels rough. I love that it vibrates. It's hot. It just smells like, you know, like it's you're riding on an engine on two wheels, and you definitely get that experience every time you ride this motorcycle. It's very light, very compact. Power to weight ratio when this bike came out was unheard of, and it still holds today, even though we broke the 200 horsepower ceiling. I'm not going to go into too many details about the engine or the bike. You can find all that information online. It is, you know, they were pushing the limits of the V2 at the time, 1198 cubic centimeters to be more exact, or 73.1 cubic inches, I think. But yeah, it's an over square motor V2. Diameter of the piston is larger than the travel distance of the piston, so it's like, I believe, 1.84 to 1 ratio. So it feels like, I mean, it feels like nothing else. It's very, it's a very character-driven engine. The power band 2 is the torque curve. You can look up the graph, but there's a valley between 3,000 and 6,000 RPMs where the torque is a little flat, but then after that it just hits, and it just it just goes. When I first got the bike, it was missing a bunch of parts, so I just got it. I kind of put it all back together, and I like to thank the folks at Pro Italia, Melrose Moto, and 224 Wheels in Michigan for hooking it up with these beautiful Oz gas racing forged aluminum wheels, which are much lighter than the stock wheels that the bike came with. I have GP Racing foot pegs because the foot pegs that come originally with this bike are very slippery. My next upgrade is the steering damper, because the one that came with the bike is non-adjustable and it doesn't do very much, in my opinion. And I think for anyone that's interested in this bike, that's a game changer. For a fact, an adjustable all-in steering damper is going to change the way the bike feels, give you a little more confidence in the front. The brakes on this bike are great. It stops on a dime. Brakes are strong. The original seat that the bike comes with is very thin, so I have the performance seat, which is a little bit thicker. It raises the ride height also a little bit. I'm 6'1", so, you know, even though this is a 10-year-old bike, I believe it'll be a classic, and it's still a lot of fun to ride. It's, you know, for anyone that wants a true motorcycle riding experience, I recommend for sure try the 1199 and see how you like it. But yeah, let's go for a ride.